if you are here in the live stream or just watching this video after the fact, you are probably a woman. You're probably tired of looking back and realize that you've given your heart to a man, you've made all these sacrifices, you've been nothing but good to him, and then once everything is said and done, you're drained, you're disappointed, you are questioning your worth. And what if I told you that emotional attachment is what makes you vulnerable? I am a firm believer in this. I am a firm believer that one of the things that men are always going to use is leverage against women, is it's always going to be your emotions. And so this is the reason why you end up feeling so drained, and the reason why you end up feeling as though you have given more than you have received. And so your emotions is the very same thing that is keeping you stuck. Because at the end of the day, men are trained to manipulate. Okay. Uh, men are trained at a very, very young age to manipulate women. And so this is where men like having game. A man having game is a man knowing how to emotionally manipulate you. Okay. So every time a man is telling a man, oh, well, it's because you don't got game, or they call it Riz now. Riz is another word for manipulation. How can they use your emotion as leverage in order to manipulate you? That is what that is. So please understand that at a young age, men are taught this. Okay. And so you're not taught this because you are taught you are taught to be giving, you're taught to be sacrificial and nurturing and loving, and all of those things. And so today we're going to flip the script, and I'm going to show you how to emotionally detach. I'm going to teach you how to protect your energy, and I'm going to teach you how to move through life so that you can become untouchable. Okay, you become unplayable. There will never be a man in your life ever again who is going to be able to take advantage of you, who is going to be able to play you. And at the very end of this, I'm going to give you the 7 things that you need to do in order to emotionally detach yourself. That way you can prevent this from happening. Okay. So I first want to explain. I want to explain why emotional detachment is power. Okay. Society already conditions us as women to believe that your love is sacrificial, your love is performative, your love is requiring you to audition and pretty much prove to a man how many parts of yourself you can strip away in order to make this man happy. And so men often use women's emotion as leverage. And so they do this through love bombing, they do this through ghosting, they do this through stonewalling, all those different forms of manipulation. And so when it comes to you having emotional detachment, you are the one in control. Because when it comes to a man, without your emotions, he doesn't have leverage over you. Okay, he has no leverage over you. And I know to my women, I know to my ladies who have decided that they don't want to get married, they don't want to have children, they don't want to live with a man. The man is just like for a lot of women, you'll see that men are not going to entertain you once you tell a man all of this. And the reason why is because a man understands that he no longer has anything to leverage from you. And so that's why they're like, well, that's boring. Like, I don't want to deal with someone who doesn't want those things, because then I don't have anything to use their emotions with. I can't convince her to deal with my BS in a relationship in order to dangle the carrot of getting married. I can't dangle the carrot of her wanting to be motherly and fulfilling her role as a mother to try to convince her to have a child with me. And then I can't convince her through her emotions to want to see us living together as commitment. So I'm not going to be able to leverage her emotions in that way either. So at the end of the day, this is the reason why, when it comes to you having emotional detachment, I'm not saying you have to decide you don't want to get married, you don't want to have kids, you don't want to live with a man, but in order for you to start the process of you emotionally detaching, you have to live your life as if it's never going to happen, okay? If you live your life praying and hoping and wishing, "Oh, I'm so sick of being single. I can't wait to be married. I can't wait to have children." You are going to dump your emotions into every single man that you meet, and you're going to have heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. You have to wipe that fairy tale away from your brain. You got to quit listening to the love songs. You got to quit watching all those movies and those TV shows, all those love dramas, those rom-coms and things like that. Because at the end of the day, that's conditioning you further to have an emotional tie to these false indicators of commitment from a man. So I want to talk about this starting from a sociological perspective. Like, how have women been trained societally to be emotionally dependent? So, the first question that I want to answer is, why do women attach emotionally faster than men? I feel like this is a very common thing that we see as women. It'll be a breakup and you'll see how fast the man moves on. You'll think, "Oh my God, the man doesn't even care. He seems unfazed." You're always asking him, "Well, do you love me? Do you love me?" All of those things. And yes, I did catch up on my sleep after my traveling. It took me a while to do so, but the past 2 nights, I've actually been sleeping like a baby. So thank you for asking. And then, yeah, I just got my nails done before I did this live stream. That's why I got on here late. And then I just did my skincare before I hopped on here too. So yeah, I feel a lot better. All right. So, societal conditioning. From childhood, we're taught to be nurturers, caretakers, and to be emotionally available. This is where the people pleasing comes in. This is where the good girl syndrome comes in. And then, like I mentioned earlier, when it comes to the media, the fairy tale syndrome, everything that we see in Disney movies, books and all those things. And this is pretty much media and culture pushing love as the ultimate goal for women. As you get older, as a woman, everyone is going to ask you, well, when are you going to get married? When are you going to have children? That's the number one. That's the number one question that everyone is always asking, a woman. And then as you start getting older, it's, well, you need to hurry up and find someone. When are you going to have kids? You're only getting older. So then, even then, everyone's pretty much telling you that you need to hurry up and do this thing, because that's supposed to be the whole point of you being a woman, right? You're supposed to find someone to love, get married, have children. So that is how women, as little girls, how we have been conditioned. So it's only right that you would have all of your emotions in wanting love and wanting marriage, and wanting children, wanting a family. It's only normal that you want those things. However, men are not conditioned to be like that at all. Okay. Men are conditioned to detach. Okay. So you're being taught to have your emotions all open, and men are being taught to have their emotions be closed. So men are taught the game, men are taught to be a player. Don't catch feelings. You know what I mean? That's like the number one thing. Men are always, young, being told you can't catch feelings, you can't show her that you care. You really, as a man, you're literally taught to just be unfazed constantly. Okay. um Whereas women, we are taught to be loyal, understanding, all those things, right? So, on a survival standpoint, historically, women have always relied on men for security. This was really just artificially created. So, for a lot of women in the past, emotional attachment came with protection. You know what I mean? You had to emotionally attach to someone because How else were you going to have a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food on the table, you know? But now women provide for themselves. And so this is the dynamic that we are seeing shifting between the genders, and why there is so much conflict between the genders, because at the end of the day, women don't have to deal with men just based off of their money. There is an emotional connection that women have required in the standards of dealing with men now, because we can make our own money, and men refuse to dismantle what they have been taught as far as being emotionally closed off, being a player, playing the game, things like that. They don't want to give that up. Essentially, they don't really want to be people that feel anything. So the first thing is, you have to acknowledge that this is all conditioning, okay? And so once you understand that this is conditioning and you can deconstruct this process will get easier, okay? Once you see the game, you won't play it the same, okay? And so I want to talk about next, on a psychological level, how your brain hooks you into attachment. So as a young girl, you've already been societally conditioned. Okay, what is this doing to your brain? I already talked about like these hormones in my video on narcissism, but oxytocin, okay, the bonding hormone, okay, this hormone is released during sex, and a very very deep emotional connection. And so this is the reason why, as a woman, especially when it comes to you sleeping with a man, you really really you have to learn how to have your emotions be detached before you sleep with anyone, point blank period. The reason why I really like don't believe the whole advice when people say, "Oh, you have to make sure that the person is emotionally safe. You have to make sure that the person has like earned like love, in order for them to sleep with you." Well, anyone could fake that. Like, let's just be real. Anyone could fake that. So, this is kind of why women, once they sleep with someone, um the man will be different after, okay, and you'll be like, but he was so sweet and he was so nice and he made me feel so comfortable and yada yada yada. And what happens is that you realize that this is like, it's fake, now he's switched and he's turned into a different person, because he did everything he needed to do to emotionally get you open and emotionally connect with you. And yes, can we please get the likes up? There are 77 people in here. There's really no reason why we don't have the likes at 60. I already put it in the community notes or the community tab that um I am going to have rolling ads in here, okay? Because the the information that I'm giving is valuable, and I'm getting more and more subscribers. And so please just bear with a few seconds of ads for me, okay? I have it on medium settings. So thank you guys for liking the live. Um I'm going to have to add some more moderators in here, because clearly there's interesting people in here. Thank you for saying that. Conditioning is so true. We're condition. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me add you. Okay, there you go. Thank you for saying that. Conditioning is so true. We're conditioned from childhood about being the wife, run over, disrespected, and stay there and take it, all from conditioning. Exactly. I always wanted to be married, and oh, you retracted it. Jessica, get this crazy fool out of here that is trying to get attention. Um, okay, so oxytocin. Someone also mentioned that it gets released during breastfeeding, because yeah, when you're breastfeeding, you're bonding with your baby, and so that hormone is getting released. And so I always urge women, no matter how nice the guy is, no matter how great the person is treating you, you still cannot be you have to still be emotionally detached even when you are sleeping with the man. You have to be, because men know how to play the game. So he might be doing the actions, but anyone will do all the actions if it for a certain intention. You know what I mean? Like, think of how far people will go in order to gain money. You know what I mean? people will say they won't do certain things, but if you give them a certain amount of money, um no, I'm a man and I love your content. Chill. All right, you can stay. You can stay. Behave. But I will answer your question. I don't have a lot of men on the channel. Like, I think it's a very small percentage. I think the last time I checked my analytics, I had about 7% men on here. But don't spam, please. Do not spam. Spamming will get you kicked out of here. If you want your question acknowledged, you can send a super chat, because it's too hard for me to catch up with all the people in the chat now. We got 84 people in here. We got to get the likes up to 60, guys. We got to get the likes up to 60. But I appreciate it. But please, no spamming the comments. Please, no spamming the comments. So intermittent reinforcement is the next thing that I want to talk about when it comes to you psychologically being impacted in order to emotionally attach to someone. So this is the same technique that is used with gambling. It's the same thing that's used with addiction. Pretty much on and off, hot and cold. Okay. So a lot of women will do things and just press the thumbs up, guys. That's the like. The heart, I mean, you could press the heart, but the thumbs up is liking. Okay. You have to press the thumb, because now we have 92 people in here. So we really need to press the thumbs up and get the likes up, please. Thank you. Um and so a lot of women will question their worth because, and I just talked about this on my Patreon. So if you want to be diabolical, okay, if you want to play the game, because see, here on this channel, I teach you how the game is being played on you. Okay. On my Patreon, I teach how you can play the game. So I do an Uno reverse on my Patreon. So that is all dark femininity, dark manipulation, and then I do give like more insight on my like personal life. That way anyone that is interested in getting to know me more and what's going on in my life, you can go on ahead and subscribe to the Patreon. But I just talked about it on my Patreon today, about how you pulling away is very, very beneficial. And so what will happen is a lot of women, a man will be texting you, right? And he'll be texting you every day. A whole 6 weeks will go by, right? Text you every day. Nothing happened. Great conversation. No issues. And then boom, he stops contacting you. And so you're over here like, what did I do wrong? Did I say something wrong? Does he think I'm ugly? Did he find something else? Did he find someone else? I can guarantee you that 98% of the time he's playing the game. You did nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. There's no issue. Men do this to get you emotionally hooked. Okay. So this is the reason why you can't be, I don't know where my phone is. I'm going to pretend this is my phone. You can't be all like, oh my God. Yes, he texted me. He texted me. Yes. Oh, like when you're at the point where you're used to a man texting you at a certain time and you look at your phone and you're like, oh my God, he didn't text me. Oh my God, I'm freaking out. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Oh my God. You're too far gone. You're too far gone. He's got you. Okay. That's how you know he's got you. And that's exactly what men are wanting. That